up in that top lane. He's on Mordekaiser against a set here. FLICKR loves that top lane. He's been loving his solo lanes a bit more than we've seen in OMG's past, while SMLZ and Cold draft themselves the Kalista Taric. We've seen this lane be very successful, but how does it get through what we'd call a boring lane? In iBoy and Hung on the center, Tam Kench, an unusual lane for Vici Gaming's bottom lane. But that is, what a zoom out onto Taric. How gorgeous was that? Let's go into OMG and Vici. Remember what's on the line here. Never mind. We already got a 4 versus 5. What's on the line here is the 8th position. 8th position in future could really be the matchup we're looking at. What? What's wrong?
Kalista binded to set. She didn't bind. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Forge
I was watching Forge
is
binded to Cube. That's where I was looking, going, hang on a second, what have we got here? Sorry, but you're right. We were in that 8 times.
Yeah.
I got so confused for a
okay?
second. My brain was like, hang on, why did SMLZ bind with the top lane?
Well, I mean, that can start our game off, right? That can start our game off because Forge has gone for Conqueror in this lane. Yesterday with Silas on the Shy, we saw ourselves looking at a Comet in the top lane, but back to normality. And since we have binded towards Cube in the top lane, you're expecting these skirmishes to involve both Cube and Forge, stealing away SMLZ's ulti and looking for the fighters. Thank you for the souls.
Vici need to get off to this game as quickly as possible. When you drafted a composition that has such low damage, you need to start snowballing relatively quickly, so then you can facilitate that lack of damage by controlling the map. And with Forge having this teleport alongside Cube, they can look to play out through these side lanes and win out in the 1v1 scenarios. I'm not 100% convinced that they'll be able to, though. FLICKR on this Lee Sin should be able to match Ike's relatively well, and as long as OMG are able to get to this mid-game point without falling super far behind, their team fighting is so strong that I don't think Vici will be able to match it.
Props to the Vici Gaming warning, though, tracking FLICKR quite well after the invade towards blue buff. Wolves was started here by Ikes, and he's moved up towards the top side of the map, while for the Lee Sin, it's vertical jungling buff to buff. We'll see if Ikes wants to go matching, but at this point, positioning towards Krug's going to stay towards his side of the map. And Ikes happy to get triple buffed in this early game.
Not wanting to move across, Icon would be able to roam over, but did have the help of Cube if needs be. But instead, just happy to move through. This isn't the end of the world. The changes to jungle camps means that you don't have to pick up these buffs. They're one of the lower end camps when it comes to experience. It's more the Krugs and the Gromp that you need to watch out for.
Also now positioned towards the top side for both junglers to be noted as well. Raptors for Ikes. Tracking jungle path seems to be the important start to this game, this series rather. When we talked about the skirmishing of Vici Gaming, well, through the mid lane, potential is there for Ikes. Cube also has the shove in lane. And a very strong start to the top and mid.
I imagine Ike's off of this camp is going to start to look for this mid lane gank. You can see where Icon is positioning on the far side of the lane will make it a bit more difficult. But the point is that Icon has pushed this wave in, so now needs to overextend a little bit if he wants to try and make sure Forge can't just hold it in front of his turret.
FLICKR moves to a Skull Trap trade on the bottom side, still ahead by a camp due to the trade in the early game. iBoy's going to ward this. This is not good timing. But he's now going to push out in lane. He thinks he's fine because FLICKR wasn't shown. The dazzle comes through. It's onto the AD carry. FLICKR turning his attention elsewhere onto Hung as chewed up. iBoy lives on. He thought OMG had first blood there easy, but it's just so hard to gank this lane.
That's the big problem, FLICKR. You're not going to find very much down.
Never mind. Okay, flash for flash. It's not that hard, apparently, as FLICKR's sticking around. He's going to be stunned down. It's 2 versus 3. FLICKR almost dies. Messy start here to the game in the bottom lane.
Pulls out the heal from Cole to try and keep FLICKR alive there, but I wasn't sure if Hung was just going to be able to turn around and kill them. Now Ike's on this top side will spot out Curse trying to put a ward down.
The Tremor Sense, all you have to do is go in now to zone him away. Deathcrash sends him away. Tunnel system out. I guess now Curse has that information. Ike's might be looking for a regank.
Needs to try and get this Mordekaiser locked down before he hits that level 6 point. We've all seen what Mordekaisers can do when you try to gank them with the Death Realm available. And I think the main point that they're trying to do is unlock Cube and Forge so they can try and use this double teleport to make plays around the map. And this is how they can start to get this snowball going that they really want to get started.
See, Icon trying to be aggressive here in this lane already has a bit of a CS lead. FLICKR and Cold now roaming together. Cold has chained up with this Lee Sin once more. Cold spotted in the lane very early. I believe he accidentally walked out of the brushes. iBoy matching it too. And this center has to be careful. Without the time, Kent's really volatile. iBoy over the wall, dodges away from the dazzle. Now needs help from Forge. Has to kite around. Doesn't have the flash or heal. We saw in the last trade. Forge going to help him out. And iBoy playing with fire. OMG once again have priority in this bottom side.
And they can use this to move towards the dragon. The iBoy's been chunked out, so we'll have to, well, heal up or at least go back towards base. But it looks like they don't want to try and take this dragon too early.
This fasting center is level 3. iBoy's still not in lane with the Tahm Kench. Now, Tahm is getting a bit of CS in the bottom lane, excuse me. But SMLZ is ahead. SMLZ has absorbed this solo lane experience and is level 4.
And don't forget, iBoy is the real source of consistent damage on this team. Not in the best of shape now starting things off, and because of the roaming around and hanging about to try and help out and clear vision, iBoy now doesn't have those souls, so hasn't started to stack up this AD in the same way.
Super curious to track that from iBoy if we get a chance to have a look. But Wave now pushing in against OMG. Ike's is in the bottom lane, and so is FLICKR. Teleport was just used to the top lane, as it is being used by Forge to mid. Cube is the only one on this map right now that has TP.
So, let's see if Vici can punish the fact that there's no teleports available on OMG.
Death Realm, though. Okay. Can Cube survive? Icon's coming up as well. The suplex used, but the flash on top of Cube. The AoE damage is hurting him. In comes Icon for the guaranteed kill. Nice roam for OMG for first blood.
Vici will try and answer with the dragon on the bottom lane, but Icon always finds a way to roam when he gets into lanes like this. Manages to help out Curse in the top lane, and crucially getting that kill onto the Syndra will make this even more difficult for Forge in the mid lane. One, because of the push power that Icon can get off of more items, but just the raw damage that this Syndra can burn.
Also, when you see the TP going mid, Icon says, yippee, up I go. Now has a lost chapter with an amplifying tome. Big Syndra to start the game off as OMG's bottom lane, though, are going to be choked out a little bit here. Hung with the damage from W. Perfectly done. Vici with their first kill.
Cole thinking he could take the trade, but doesn't really matter. iBoy's able to escape away from that one, and you can't get the follow-up damage quick enough. This is one of the few times you see a kill in the bottom lane, just with
from
the
a
duo.
center Tahm Kench.
Yeah,
not often that you see that, but I guess an overstep coming through from Cold. Now, the only bonus there for OMG is that SMLZ gets to stay in lane. He's been here the whole time. He gets more solo lane experience. And we're getting a quick look at how this top solo kill came through. I guess Cube just got pulled in.
They got pulled into the Death Realm. It's not where you want to be as this set. I wanted to see Ike's be a little bit more active in this early game and try and help out Cube in the top side or Forge in this mid lane. He said, look, Ike's has actually been really proactive in their last few series in this early game, especially on the Rek'Sai against the Lee Sin. You have control of that matchup, especially in these super early stages, but not willing to go in aggressively into any of these lanes is a big question mark for me.
Ike's has been the reason that Vici have brought the tempo in the last 3 series. Remember, Vici are on a 3-series winning streak, and Ike's is really the person to be thanking for that if you're a Vici fan. His Olaf had a 40 KDA before that last series against E-Star, but even now, it is highly contested. The Rek'Sai, see if he can do the same thing. As we're gearing up for a fight in front of Rift Herald, it's a 2 versus 2, but Scatter the Weak doesn't connect from Icon, and that's a big no-no as OMG now still looks to engage Death Scratch to bring back Forge in, while Vici is split between 2 fights. The bottom lane has joined as well. The Blast Code not in time to save Icon as FLICKR now gets the support of Cole, but he's not level 6. At least the safeguard will get him out.
Vici react first to the player end Rift Herald thanks to Hung and his Abyssal Voyage. You get iBoy and Hung into the right place. Vici win out the fight, they pick up the Rift Herald, and now we can start to see them look to get some gold onto these crucial members.
Kill goes over to Forge in that play as well. So now Forge, who had to trade off with Icon roaming top, is back in a position to contest. Has the shove mid with Icon walking to lane. And Vici getting even more this game, as that's a Fate's Call used underneath turret to Cube. A bit short, you'd have to say.
A bit more than short, has left a lot wanting for OMG, but with all these members in the top lane, they should be able to get at least some of these turret plates. They still have to be careful though because of the bulwark. If too many of them stick around, it's only going to make it harder for them to get these plates.
But I'll take it back, the Fate's Call was great, because even though it doesn't find anything on Cube, it forces him away. SMLZ and Cold get some more gold in this lane, and we have to get prepared for the reality that SMLZ is going to be huge in this game.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of gold funneled into him, but it is being answered on this bottom side. Vici have pushed in, they're starting to answer these turret plates, and with the movement from Ike's getting down towards this bottom lane, can put the Rift Herald down there and speed up this tower taking process.
Moving down now, the level 7 Rek'Sai on the hunt. Curse is matching this for now. But the wave's slowly, or rather quickly, about to be pushed here with the help of Rift Herald. 3 versus that 2-man push in the top lane. So first turret inevitably going to be going to Vici here. More gold goes to them. They're still with a gold lead in this game. And Cube's now trying to defend top.
He needs to be careful though, because if Code hits 6, there is the dive potential here from OMG. It's a bit of an awkward one for this set, because when do you use the Haymaker? You need to try and balance the Ren damage versus the sheer auto attacks that are coming in. And that can be a hard call for Cube to make, but in this scenario, at least he's held on to the turret that little bit longer.
I wonder if they even have enough damage here. I don't think SMLZ really has it at this point, so Cube able to defend. And that is an outright Vici win, so while I was heightening SMLZ's potential this game, as you mentioned, the bottom lane gets even more gold. The center has her first item in the Umbral Glaive.
And look at the control that Vici have of this bottom side of the map after that as well. Vision galore in this bottom side jungle, and they can rotate in towards this dragon, knowing full well that there's no members of OMG in this space. And Vici are teams that loves to pick up dragons. They have the 6th highest dragon takes in the LPL, at an average about 2.5 per game.
We're talking about the most consistent lane as Forge now going to show us otherwise. Onto Curse. Death Realm here, stolen by Forge. He uses it, but over the wall. Just in time, I believe. Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike. The kick is great. Cube is just dead. Nice roam from OMG. The tempo continues, and it's still in that top lane.
There's 4 members up here, so they will get the tower, but it's being, again, answered in the mid lane. Every time they're going for these plays, they're actually falling further behind, because Vici are getting more turret plates out of these plays.
While Ike starts up the dragon, so even further here for Vici. We've talked a lot about Vici's success in their recent series with OMG. They are on a losing streak, but you can still see the potential, the potency of this game. SMLZ getting the slow bit of gold on top of this Callista. And Ike's did pick up the dragon to summon the Infernal Rift.
And don't forget, it's the Tam Kench that will become a really strong damage dealer in the game for Vici as well. You don't usually think about it for a Tam Kench, but because he's getting all this gold funneled into him, there's been times where I look at games and the Tam Kenches have dealt 26, 27% of the team's damage just off of the gold that's been funneled into them. So this is still something that you have to contend with if you're on OMG side.
But you know what I really like here for Vici Gaming? We talked about their skirmishing. If you're talking about that Tam Kench, I think that's going to be an accelerated tank. That's someone who can really just lead the charge in this Vici Gaming lineup and is unkillable. You know, Giant's Belt, we got the Glacial Shroud there. First item almost picked up, 81 CS in hand.
It's a lot of armor.
It really is. A lot of AP a lot of AD damage, excuse me. Yep, just a bit of transport here from Hung and iBoy through the mid lane. They're going to head to match the bottom lane of OMG and SMLZ and Cold. And look at SMLZ. He's got Blade of the Wrong King, he's got Double Dagger. It's still very true that this guy has a lot of gold in his back pocket. 122 CS at 13 minutes.
It's not a bad stat at all to be picking up at the moment. And especially as we start to approach this 15-minute mark, a lot of this is where OMG will start to come online. They've gotten the Blade of the Rune King completed. You're looking at that Ludens being completed in the mid lane for Icon soon enough as well. And once that is the case, they can look to take these fights, because there isn't the hefty damage load that's coming in from Vici. As long as Hacker and Cold can push back Forge, Ikes, and Cube, or have that Cosmic Radiance reduce the initial upfront damage from Vici, OMG should be able to win out in the sustained ball.
Blade of the Wrong King picked up first by Cube as well, so he's got the damage, but remember what we expect with the Black Cleaver is a bit more health involved. So not as tanky as you'd expect here with the first item, but also look at Forge. Proto Belt to get into the back line here, so I'm waiting for that first fight. I see a dragon in 3 minutes. I see a bit of gold going over to Vici and OMG alike. 500 on the Callista, while the bottom lane picked up 500 each, almost 6. So iBoy and Hung both big individually.
And they'll need to be big in this next fight. Rift Herald is spawning in just a few, there it goes, just a few seconds. And now OMG will be looking to try and pick this one up for themselves. Icon gets stunned up there, will take a bit of a brunt to the face, but both sides with iBoy and Cold, have more than enough healing that
Yeah.
this poke won't stick around.
There's a lot of sustain on both sides, right? You'd be annoyed if we saw an Ocean Rift. It's kind of fun that you see an Infernal Rift this time around, though, especially for both of these teams. The amount of bursts that can come through in these fights. Infernal going to heighten that here as Vici look to push mid with 4 members. Forge is not here. Ike's getting pulled in, has to flash away. Bit of a mistake from the jungler here as Vici now have to back away.
Not able to get on towards this tower either. So they will rotate to get Vision into the river instead. You see a lot of red wards littered here, which makes it very difficult for OMG to try and push in too aggressively.
Good scat of the week here. Remember, Icon is accelerated too. This guy's got 2 kills. Icon has the Oblivion Orb and the Lost Chapter, so no first item, but still quite a lot of Magic Pen already built up with the boots included. OMG defending mid quite well. And Ike's has moved up towards the top side. It seems like Rift Herald being started while they keep Vici gaming at Bay mid.
No vision here from OMG to realize this is going down. Ike's will be able to pick this one up before they can even react, and this is exactly how Vici wanted this game to start off, was getting some of these Rift Heralds. They miss out on the first, or they get the first one, and now they've picked up the second one here as well.
I wonder what Tahm Kench's taste buds are like. You know, we have like 5 senses or 6 senses with umami.
I'm more curious about what goes on in his stomach. The fact that he can kick up a fully non-digested boot at cases, I'm like, where's the digestive properties?
I mean, he eats bloober. You've seen him, he eats bloober.
Yeah.
And that thing comes out exactly the way it went in. So it must be like a palace in there. Everything's protected.
I feel, is it like a cow? He's got like several different stomachs that are there. He's just like, here's the safety one, and then here's the when I want to actually eat one.
I guess we've never seen a catfish's stomach, have we? So we don't necessarily know, because that's what he is, right? He's a catfish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
Name is
I'm
Thomas.
not a veterinarian, so I'm not sure as to the properties that are going on.
I don't think many vets would do.
Well out of my depth here.
Would know much about catfishes anyway, to be quite honest. And there are some negative catfishes in the world as well, so you don't necessarily have to be a veterinarian. Icon now joining the fight mid. He's going to get locked down. OMG now have to use the Cosmic Radiance as Forge gets pulled on in. He's dead immediately. Vici, this is not their fight anymore. As Cube will find Hacker. At least there's something on the board. A 1-for-1 as iBoy now targeted out, but the damage is so much. He's so squishy. He flashes into the belly of Hung. Safe for now. Gets spat back out, but OMG are diving this one. They don't want to leave anyone left alive. Flashed over the wall here from Cold to look over iBoy, but meanwhile Vici have found the return kill. This has gone a bit too far. OMG need to get the kill and get out, and it's about iBoy surviving. Flashed over. Nice from SMLZ. OMG win out, but the trades do come through.
And this is what we were talking about. OMG wins sustained fights. If this goes longer than...
That's a flash base breaker. Icon's just dead here, I think, but the dazzle will come through. Will slow things down. Ultimate here from Ike's, but he's sacrificing his life. Or not. He's out for now. Forge has rejoined the fight too. Vici trading right back. It's a little messy, but now Vici, they have control, and they're going to get cold as well.
OMG taking so long, running through the jungle. Actually give the opportunity for Forge to come back in with that teleport and turn the fight around. Still though, you can see if OMG have the sustained fight, they will win it. They just got to make sure it doesn't go that long that the rest of Vici can come back for a second fight.
And look, if you dive under a turret as well, 4 people there, it's going to be pretty easy for Vici to get something off the back of that one. So Vici now on sole point here in game number 1. It seems their run could be continuing here. And they've got a fed Forge, a fed Ikes. We'll look at how they started, though, because it looked pretty good for OMG.
It looks fantastic because that upfront burst we talked about all goes into the Cosmic Radiance. It's a little bit disjointed from Vici at the same time. And when you're leaving iBoy and Hung here on the back line, they're going to be able to chase them down, no problem. This was the mistake from OMG, though. Going that wee bit too far means that they aren't able to close out iBoy, who does a good job of escaping here. For a while.
Yeah.
And then buying time for Forge to respawn, teleport in, and pick off these members of OMG.
Nice flash from SMLZ, but at the end of that play, Vici do come back alive and kill another couple of members. SMLZ dying was a big one.
So now we get to look at where that gold from the fight is gone on Vici. Ike's is 3-0, Forge is 3-0. Forge has even completed his Zonya's Hourglass. So when we were talking about this upfront burst from Vici, now Forge gets a moment of respite in these fights to wait for cooldowns to come in and start it again. So Vici hitting these pretty important items for the style of composition that they're playing.
Plus Forge is about 40 CS over Icon at this point, or 30 now. Forge has 2 items versus Icon's 1.5. He went for Morellonomicon first here against this composition. Now, I know there's a lot of questions about that. I'll be asking them as well. But for SMLZ, 2 items here on the Callista. This is important because we've got a Dragon coming up. We've got a Baron spawning soon too.
I like the Morello here, though. This is the situation you wanted. Forge is Kingslayer, so much healing. You've got iBoy, he's going to be providing a bunch of sustain in the back line. And that's enough, and even a little bit the regen that Cube has. So this is definitely the moment where you want to pick up the Morellonomicon.
We're looking across at items because, again, that Baron has spawned. We're going towards Infernal Dragon Soul soon, and Vici want to fight. The waters come out here from Hung. Ultimate used. OMG behind a turret. Which direction do they go? Forward, apparently. Onto Forge. They say, let's turn for the fight. The Dazzle not going to connect because SMLZ is not in range. Hacker with Sonic Wave into Resonating Strike. No, not this time around.
I like that OMG didn't follow that. Cube was starting to walk up to bait out the teleport from Curse, and then Vici can try and make some plays.
They can't see them. They're in the mist. The flash onto it. The Cosmic Radiance going to be used here. It's 3 versus 5, though. Invulnerability there. Forge gets the knock up here with the help of Cold. SMLZ has made a big fight of this one. Forge, the healing through as SMLZ trying to back off. Forge used the Sonya's Hourglass, but it's a shutdown going to Hacker. The ult from Cold, everything again.
And they managed to get the perfect fight. You said it, Cosmic Radiance doing so much work against Vici right now. And now a 21-minute Baron started for OMG.
Quick. They do this so damn quick, Dagda. SMLZ's level 11. Callista Rend plus the Smite, which is available for Hacker. iBoy's trying to channel them into the fight. He misses the binding here. But Ike's on the other side of the wall. It's 3K, it's 2K, into the back line. Ike's is in a little bit early. Where's the Smite? It's a bit early, but it comes through with the Ren. Good guy, SMLZ. And Vici just run to die. That was an easy fight. That looks like it's it for OMG.
Well, it's only a 2K gold lead, but the problem that we set out at the beginning is there's so little damage on Vici. This comp doesn't have an Azir, a Misfortune, any, like, a Philios in the bottom lane. Vici don't have anyone. Even look at the health bar that is currently on Cold. Nobody's able to finish him off. Curse is too strong. Even pulls people into the Death Realm to stop the damage there. OMG have the perfect comp for what Vici are trying to do. And now, with a minute 10 until this Inferno Drake, unless Vici can pull off a Miracle Steal, it feels like this is where OMG shut down their opportunity at Soul Point and can continue with this Baron buff to take towers.
Minute until then. Just on that last play, it feels like Ike's died before he could smite, so a bit unfortunate there. Icon picks up a triple, though, after that one. Now has the Luden's Echo and a blasting one to boot. Big Syndra available for OMG. They've got the Baron buff. They've probably got mid here, too. And they've got 45 seconds of that Soul Denial that you mentioned before. 3K gold lead and building for OMG in Game 1.
In this scenario, I think Vici just needs to send Ikes in. Maybe you can look for the Miracle Steal, but trying to take a fight is just going to give more opportunity for OMG to take the fight, win it, and then try and look for turrets instead. Vici right now need to try and delay this Baron push because they don't have a huge amount of wave clear to work against these Baron buff minions.
Scatter the weak. iBoy running forward. The Unleashed power wasted because Hung eats him up. Now for Vici. They want to establish a bit more control around the river, but OMG have full vision priority. Scatter the weak again to zone away. If they can dodge Icon, maybe Vici can get towards it.
Dragon will be started up by OMG. They'll be able to burst it before Vici can even get in there. And now they'll get to start using this Baron buff. Only a minute left, so won't really be able to take any turrets, actually, more than likely, with where the waves are positioned. But it's still a case of getting that gold injection, denying the Soul Point, and now putting the hurt onto Vici in these fights.
Time to reset, I think, at this point as well. Just under a 3K gold lead still there. Curse moves to the bottom lane. By the way, Nash's Tooth taken second. We've talked about this many times in the LPL broadcast, but the dueling potential now here against Cube in the side lane, who hasn't been doing well in this matchup.
And I like this from Curse. You identify that the only real way Vici win out is in these side lanes. Forge is on one, Cube's on the other. So go for this more dueling build. And that means that even when you come into the team fights, despite the fact it may not be optimal, you've got the Cosmic Radiance already there to provide you those tanky stats and win.
And as we just saw, Curse pushes turrets really damn fast with this item as well. Like Nash's Tooth Mordekaiser really has at it. With the Seeker's Armor Guard, and that'll soon be a Sonya's Hourglass, Cube will do absolutely nothing to this Mordekaiser. So already down about 40 CS up in that top lane. We've got a game that we can talk a little bit about Cube, a little bit about Curse. Two rookies last year in the LPL. Cube joined in summer. Curse the same on OMG as well. Remember before that it was Natural, who was called Ale at that time, who's now on DMO. So these guys came in at reasonably the same time. They're both newer top laners. And both have shown us so far in this split really good depth of talent.
It's taken a bit of time for Cube to settle into the LPL, though. In the Demacia Cup, we saw him looking absolutely fantastic. Solo kills in the game.
I'm sorry, Dagda. Ike's almost dies. But continue.
I thought Ike's was going to walk away there because he saw them on the Tremor Sense, but eats a whole burst damage instead. Forge did look really good coming into the Demacia Cup, but then struggled a little bit on their first few weeks, as the entirety of Vici did. The Ornn picks weren't working out quite well for him, but he seems to have definitely found his place when it's on the likes of the sets. The Renekton he's looked really strong on as well. And now Vici as a whole are starting to gel, rather than, as you said, these bunch of rookies or the second best in a lot of scenarios on their former teams coming onto this roster.
And that's why these guys share a role. They're both playmaking top laners. These are not tank top laners. You would see like an Ornn here or there, but you're not expecting it every single game, right? Cube and Curse, both playmaking tops who, in the past, we've seen things like Aatrox be one of their most successful. The set you mentioned for Cube, of course, but Cube came into the league against Invictus Gaming where he outplayed a 1v3 dive as the Aatrox on his 18th birthday. One of our clips here on the LPL channel as well. So Cube trying to live up to a growing reputation. Curse trying to do the same. In this game, it seems like Curse is the more successful one, as Icon is the one looking for Forge. Very different reputations through the mid lane. Icon's still very heavily favored in this matchup at the moment. He's still got those 2 items. He's almost towards his 3rd. And he's sitting up here top with Hacker.
And that was the question when Hacker joined the team, was could he provide the stability for Icon in the mid-jungle duo? And so far this season, these two have been working as such a treat on the OMG roster.
And then towards the bottom lane, SMLZ and Cold reunited. Remember 2017, it was spring and summer when OMG last made playoffs. And it was with SMLZ and 5, now named Cold. This is the bottom lane that was so successful back 3 years ago. So we've got a lot of expectations on them as well. This game around, 3 items. SMLZ is still big from that early game. He's still got a massive CS lead over the bottom lane combined. And with BT, we're going to see how he goes in these upcoming fights. A minute until Soul comes up. Vici trying to establish priority early. This Curse might be caught out here. Death Grass onto iBoy. Curse is large, though, and in charge.
OMG now looking again, as you said, to stop this dragon. Baron is there, but first protocol has to be preventing this Infernal Soul from going over. Vici's damage isn't quite there. If you give them this big boost on the Dragon Soul, every little bit of damage is going to stick a bit harder to OMG.
We said this last time, they do this so damn quickly with the Kalista. 6k now as Vici are aware of the situation. 5 versus 5 in front of the Dragon, or Baron rather. 1500, Cosmic Radiance come down. It's secured by OMG. But that's the Taric ult he used at the start of the fight. No damage came through. Ike's is in the Death Realm meanwhile. As Curse comes out, that's a great ultimate. The Showstopper combined with Vici. Burst coming through. They're all alive. They're jumping in. One after one, OMG is dropping down as SMLZ is trying to kite his way around the stolen Death Realm, but he's still alive. He comes out to die, though. As Icon with the Unleashed Power and Hacker going in for the assassination. They were close, but even with Hung dying, it's a Vici Gaming fight win by 1. Forge not going to find the connection, but now Hacker's on the run.
And this was where the Cosmic Radiance timing was completely off from Cold. Needs to use it as the engage is coming in from Vici, not preemptively. So the burst damage we talked about from Vici doesn't get turned aside, and Vici can win the team fight as a whole.
And now they might actually be able to start up this Infernal and take away Infernal Soul off the back of it.
And now you've got issues for OMG. If Cold is going to use this Cosmic Radiance like that. Oh, Hacker. No, he's too late.
Okay. By about a second, granted. Infernal Soul to Vici. And after that fight, you can now see what they're doing.
So watch the Cosmic Radiance here. It doesn't block any sort of damage. Vici, kite back, wait for it to go down, and as soon as Ike's comes out of this pit, that's the go button. Cube with a fantastic engage, sets it up perfectly to throw Curse in on top of several members. And from that point, OMG are done for. The health bars are disintegrated. And there's no hope for SMLC, who is locked in with Forge and pops out to a very nasty welcoming party.
Really nice timing from iBoy as well. And the only reason that OMG were able to trade back is that Icon saved his ult for iBoy in the very end of the day. The Senna, who is 2 items strong and rips through the health bars one by one. Vici Gaming now only down to 2,000 of a difference between them and OMG. We talked about them having Infernal Soul. There's an Elder in 5. Baron from OMG that's only left on HaKKR will expire in a minute. And we get a quick look at who's doing the damage in these fights, and it's who you'd expect.
I think Cube, even though his damage isn't the big highlight there, definitely the play that set up that fight.
Yep.
So big congrats to Cube in setting that play up and getting Vici back into this game now, especially getting that Baron buff off of OMG. We talked about how, as you can see, Vici really struggled to clear out these Baroned up minions. You've got 2 melee champions, a Senna as well, who's only got the Q up every so often to actually try and get rid of these. So if you have more Baroned up minions, it would be an opportunity for OMG to spread the map and really make it hurt.
Cosmic Radiance taken though, that's a 2-man kick as iBoy was in the mouth of Hung. That's HaKKR's ulti. Cosmic Radiance was taken by Forge and not used.
So OMG, again, not getting much work out of the Baron buff, but the tower will stay, Curse will be able to save it, but still, every time we see OMG pick up this Baron, they're not actually getting anything off it. So Vici breathing a bit of a sigh of relief in that respect.
Look at iBoy's damage on the side of his screen, 34% so far. But Cube, as we talked about, his weaker early game, 0-3 and 6 is what we saw moments ago, now has 2 kills on the back of that, a couple more assists. 90% kill participation. Cube in his own right is still matching Curse this game. Very different roles on our top laners here in game 1.
He's even opted for a bit of a different build, not going for the Spirit Visage, which you'd assume because of the higher cooldown reduction, but happy as he is now with the Abyssal.
Where are we going? We're going behind turret. They found Icon with the Infernal Soul. The burst is here. Icon dodges away, but he's exhausted out. He's dead immediately. Big pick because OMG now going to lose quite a lot.
This is where it starts to become a bit of an issue. Look at where HaKKR is as well. He's not in a position to try and help save this tier 2. So Vici can start to push on underneath this tower, especially if they can look for a flank. They might be able to make some work happen.
But at least now for Vici, they can clear out the vision around. Yeah, it was expiring. Don't worry, guys, it was expiring. At least for Vici now, they can clear out vision around Baron. They can get more control in this game. Baron's up in a minute 40. That Elder a while away at under 3 minutes. But picks like that make you believe in Vici. And games like this, it does kind of reminisce on the E-Star series where it felt like this, where Vici, they're going to lose this game. They've lost out. But then these fights come through, and Vici mechanically are kind of winning these ones away.
And it feels like it's no longer the regular style that we see from OMG. We always cater OMG with being one of the smartest teams when ahead. They have a 77% win rate when they're ahead of 15 minutes. Their average Baron gold increase is 1,900 gold. And they've one of the quickest win times in the LPL. OMG have not done this at all. They've misplayed in some of these fights. Now we're starting to approach this much later portion of the game where OMG don't have the same control they usually do when we see them in their victories.
I want to see SMLZ though, because if we talk about control, SMLZ has been the most consistent member for me on the side of OMG. 2-2 and 7, Mortal Reminder in hand. He's got 4 items, big strong Callista versus the Senna. Not the most interesting matchup, I'm sure, but the poke comes through. OMG scattering around mid. Look at the Baron timer, 30 seconds. HaKKR wants a pick, and that'll help secure the objective. But Vici are backing away. They're heading up river.
Vici don't have a fast Baron when you compare it to OMG, so they need to try and find fights.
The pick here onto Cold as a potential. OMG throughout the middle of the lane as Death's Grasp is a bit short from Curse. But Icon is the person to watch. His Scatter the Weeks could really open this game up for OMG.
Needs to try and get onto some of the key members in the back line, but unfortunately iBoy has got the Edge of Night, so not going to be able to pick off him as easily as he would like, especially with Hung on the side. So iBoy not having the best of opportunities to find these picks that Syndra's renowned for.
This is kind of another reason why we see a lot of Senna Kenches preparing for the fasting Senna. How safe is iBoy? He's running to the front lines because he knows Hung is going to save him.
and allows iBoy to play this far more aggressive style. Use that Glacial Logging to slow members for Forge to lock up, for Cube to get into the right position, because oftentimes when you're looking at a double melee matchup, it can be a bit difficult for them to close the gap or find the right team fight. But when you've got iBoy setting you up with these slows, with the CC, it becomes a bit more easy for them to engage in these scenarios.
I was just looking at levels while you're chatting there, Dagda. SMLZ level 16 is an 80 carry. Like, he's got the level of pretty much a solo lane on OMG. And Forge is level 18. So we're talking about raw damage at a bit of a peak here for the Silas. And Vici now, they're still mid. Elder has spawned. OMG going up. Vici were going down, but now maybe the fight. The Death Scratch short once again. They're poked out. Vici like, let's do Elder. Let's split the map.
So this is where the race is going to happen. So Vici trying to burn down this Elder Dragon as OMG go for the Baron. OMG do this way faster, but I don't think they can get over to contest the Elder in time.
No, this is a flat trade. This looks like a very flat trade at this point. Baron, Elder, let's see which one is better. Vici had the Infernal and the Elder. That's a lot of burst damage.
But the track record for OMG with this Baron hasn't exactly been sky high. And with only an extra 30 seconds over the Elder buff, I don't really think they're going to be able to do too much with it. Vici should be looking to push their advantage with this Elder Dragon, because the upfront damage, if they can get it to work, could definitely be aided by the Elder buff.
Now I want to see what items pair along with it as well, because we've got 4 on Forge. What's new? He's got Merc Treads. I think he just rebought that. Why are we putting this down? Excuse me, sir. Oh, we're looking at Senna. I'm looking at Presence of Mind. Cutdown. Cutdown has done 2k damage. Wow. Actually, that is a significant amount.
That is a lot of damage.
I think we're also looking at Souls. He's got 140 at 36 minutes, and that's pretty decent. So, a lot of range here on iBoy as well, and because of this Senna, this infinite scaling 80 carry, it's only going to get worse as the game goes on.
And this was the problem that we saw with Vici. Originally was, how do they try and fight OMG in the mid game, where iBoy won't have picked up those AD items quite as quickly as you'd like. Forge and Cube are starting to struggle to get in, especially against the Cosmic Radiance that is there. But now that a good amount of souls have been picked up by iBoy, this AD is going to really start packing a punch for the Senna.
Umbral Glaive is just so OP. Honestly, that item is just ridiculously OP. To clear a ward in one shot as a Senna just feels so good. But Vici with this Elder still in hand for another minute. They do clear that bottom lane turret. Inner goes down. Base is pretty much the only thing left bar top.
And this is why I don't understand OMG going for the Baron trade. You can't do anything against this because Vici will win the outright fight because of how strong Elder is. So the waves are all being pushed in, and yeah, you got 30 seconds extra of Baron buff, but all your waves are pushed in. You don't have 30 seconds to get to a tower.
But they will have an extra 30 seconds if Vici can't find anything with this Elder Dragon. OMG backing away, waiting for their time. Another inner goes down, one remaining in the top side of the map. Vici going to take that as well.
And suddenly, the certainty of OMG picking up this game is being called into question. Vici have played this so well, have slowly but surely creeped up in towers. Now they've evened out the goal lead. They've got that Infernal Soul for them as well. So Vici never been counted out in their series, and once again proving that.
As the Elder runs out. 30 seconds left on Baron. It seems that'll be just used to push the wave out and reset here. Vici going to do the same. A new timer for Elder spawns in the top left. And we're not at the point yet where gold doesn't matter. We're at 67k apiece. Gold pretty even at this late game point.
We're still seeing pretty crucial items come in here as well. I mean, actually the double golden time coming in for Curse. Still has the stopwatch alongside the Zhonya's. But on the opposite side as well, you can see Dead Man's Plate already completed for Cube. Really, really big ticket item for Cube, and just trying to close the distance in these fights and allowing the set to try and close the gap is so crucial for this champion.
Morello's just picked up, he's just saying that as well, over on Curse. Hacker still sitting on that Spectre's Cowl. I want to see what that turns into. Most likely the Spirit Visage. But iBoy has the range from here. Right now, iBoy probably outranges Icon a little bit. That's not necessarily true, but you know what I mean. As Ike's looking for the engage here, this could be it for Vici. Hum tries to run on in. Icon does a lot of damage, flashes away immediately. Cube gets the slowdown, Flamethrower on King. The Cosmic Radiance not in time. Icon is dead, and Vici now have a numbers advantage, but Hung has to flash away. The damage coming through is massive as OMG have cornered them out. This is perfect. SMLZ still lives on. Curse takes Hung into the Death Realm. This time Kench is dead too. And I think Vici were over-ambitious.
Icon does go down, but gets his own burst damage off before he drops. Vici don't have the sustained damage, and with SMLZ allowed to free hit on the back line, they take down Vici, and now they're going to crack the base.
Well, 35 seconds, I mean, it could be real if they get iBoy here. It's a definite end.
I don't even think they need to get iBoy. I think they still just win out here. They can push through. They've got the minion line.
Okay, well, they've slowed down with the stun there. SMLZ's the one zoning away. 4 minions available. 4 people running through mid. Cube helping to defend here. Good dazzle onto the top lane of the kick flash. Perfect, but he brings them right back into the turret. They're delaying well for now, but they need to get iBoy. This AD carry poking them. They've done it. Well done to OMG. Vici are left with their top laner no longer, as SMLZ will get the final remnant. The teleport just for fun here, as OMG will take game number 1, even with 3 people spawning. I'm confident that we're going to the next one.
That has got to be one of the longest OMG victories